At a time when most of us are probably still asleep, Zhang Zixian is already awake, getting ready to start her long day ahead. Zhang's day starts before 6 in the morning, and she's all set to leave for work at 6:20. She skips breakfast at home most of the time, and usually just drinks a glass of water. Her journey first takes her to a nearby bus station, where, as you can see, there is already a queue. She spends over an hour on the public bus before getting on a subway train. All in, it was a 2-hour journey, just so she can arrive at work before 9 in the morning. She graduated 2 years ago and now works in the Consumer Protection Department in the Dongcheng Industry and Commerce Bureau. I caught up with Zhang after work, where she is again set to spend 2 hours to get home. I began by asking her what does she think of the whole trip, as well as her thoughts on the public transport system in Beijing.
I personally feel it can be a waste of time, but I don't have much of a negative view towards taking the public transport at the moment. It's actually quite convenient. Perhaps during winter when it's cold and it gets dark early, it may be a bit more challenging, but I feel we can still take this on for now. Also, by the end of this year, there will be a subway stop passing through the community where I live. Presently, there's none, and that's why I have to take the bus first. By then, it will be even more convenient for me.
Zhang spends her mornings catching up on sleep and takes the journey back as a time to relax by listening to some music. She wants to read a book, but says the environment is not conducive, as the subway is usually too noisy and packed. There are reportedly an average of 10 million trips taken on the Beijing subway lines every day. Zhang also says she has plans to live nearer to her workplace in the city at some point in the future, but she is in no hurry to at the moment.
Firstly, it's because of housing prices. Secondly, it's because I'm not married yet, so I'm currently living with my parents, and my parents live in Fangshan. I'd rather the inconvenience be on me to go about traveling than rather place the burden on them.
Zhang spends about 15 yuan or $2 a day in total for transport. As she lives with her parents, she saves on rent. Zhang is among the hundreds of thousands of professional workers who spend hours traveling to and from work every day. Over 21 million people live in Beijing now. The central government wants to permanently cap the city's population at 23 million by 2020.
Public transport is convenient, but there are still many cars on the road. There are also way too many people, and it can get very tight in the subway. Sometimes I can't even get on it on the first try. As for the bus, we have to queue for 20 minutes before we can get on it. The entire 2-hour journey can be very tiring. If the traffic is bad in the morning, I may even be late for work sometimes. The subway is more punctual, unlike the bus.
Zhang's ordeal is far from unique in China's congested capital, and people cope with the daily drudgery of commuting differently, weighing the pros of better opportunities in the city against the cons of high housing prices and bad traffic. At the end of the day, we just have to make do with what we have. Wei Lynn Tang, CGTN, Beijing.